What is up? What's going on? My name is Arvind Ramkrishna, and welcome to Driven to Draw, where we want to unleash the artist within you. We're going to be talking about a lot of different drawing concepts. I'm going to be going over some of my favorite subjects, which includes drawing cars. In fact, most of the videos that you've been seeing on our site is really about automotive design and illustration. And we're going to start raising it up a notch. We're going to start looking at just drawing in general and how to really look at approaching drawing from a fundamental standpoint, with really building basic shapes and then how to transform those shapes into more complex shapes and things that you can draw out of your mind or out of your imagination. So why am I doing this in the first place? I believe that everybody has some sort of ability and capacity to be creative, and that's what we're going to be doing on this channel. How do we unleash that hidden talent that is in you? So we're going to kick off our first video really looking at some of the fundamentals. So we're going to take this box, we're going to take a box, just a box that's drawn in two-point perspective, and then how to take that shape, make it a little bit more complicated, not too much more complicated, but something that you're going to be able to accomplish on your own and get some immediate success. So let's start. Let's cut to the video. Alright, we're going to start off again with another exercise. We're going to start to look at how we can relate basic shapes and forms and create something a little bit more complex. So we're going to start off with another box, a rectangular box here. And the focus is to make sure that you got your perspective correct. And if you didn't join us before, if you haven't seen this, once again, just to repeat, I'm using a software called Painter. However, these lessons that you're picking up here are really meant for you to sort of learn to do this on paper and pencil. This is not really intended for you to go out and buy the equipment or anything. It's just a nice, convenient way for me to draw. But we will be switching it up. I will be drawing also analog format with pen and paper too, so don't worry. If you are using pen and paper, you want to see the real stuff, that's what we intend to do. You want to make sure that you've got the tools, you're going to be able to translate what you learn into different formats. Alright, so what I've done now is establish my view. We've got these perspective lines, two-point perspective. These are going off in the distance this way to the vanishing point. These are converging. And what you notice is that these are almost parallel, actually. So the objects are almost a little bit more of an isometric view. Now you can do other things like a forced perspective, where you can really see the perspective lines converging. We're not going to focus on that too much because I want to make sure that you're able to draw this. So if you're able to draw this with parallel lines, then that's a good start, and that's how I want you to start off, with something simple. And I'm telling you, if you're able to do this and you're able to do this accurately, you're going to be a superstar in drawing, and that's what we want to make you. We want to make you guys superstars. You guys are going to be awesome. I want to make sure that you guys are awesome. So, okay, what are we going to do with this particular shape? Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to try to see if we can extend this out a little bit. I'm going to take the same perspective. I'm going to make that top part maybe a little bit larger. Okay, it's not exactly the same. In fact, it's not even close to being the same, but you get the idea. Now what I want to do is to create some sort of shape here. Maybe this is like a tabletop. Doesn't get any more basic than that, right? a tabletop. It's like, come on, Arvin, give me something. Give me some juice. I'll be sketching boxes and things. This is pretty boring stuff. That's okay. I want to ease you guys into some of these things, these concepts. Because we're going to try to do something a little bit different with this. But I want to show you how everything is sort of constructed. Okay? So let me get my verticals down here. Whoops. Let's try this again. Okay, so now I've established the base here. So this is what we got. Now here's where things get a little bit interesting. So I've got this point here. This has to be projected, almost projected along the same line here. So we're going to have to draw the other perspective line from the bottom here so I know where this is going to intersect. So we're going to be probably around there. Just so happens that it's going to be pretty close. Alright, so now I'm going to take that point, I'm going to project that one down, that line, that vertical line down. Okay, we're slowly building up the section. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to now join this, make sure that perspective lines are converging. Well, they're all about parallel. And this is where we're going to kind of shape things a little bit. So I'm going to round off the corners here at the top. So we're going to add a little radius here. Add a little radius here on these corners. That's going to have to now transfer here to the bottom. I tell you, drawing is such a relaxing thing. It's really like therapy. At work I always try to encourage people. It doesn't matter, by the way, whether you're a designer or an engineer, architect, whatever. It's really getting into the habit of visual thinking. That's why I really enjoy art and just exploring art. And that's what this site is all about. It's having that drive and passion to be driven to draw something, whether that's creating artwork or whether it is conceptualizing a design that you have in your head. It's drawing, it's ideating. And you never know what you can come up with. You may even surprise yourself. But you gotta believe that you can do it. You gotta believe that you can do something. Okay? Alright, so now that we got that, we're gonna have, I'm just gonna take the top. I'm gonna make sure that we hit this radius because I've got a radius now here as well. I'm going to add that radius now to the other side. Okay. So we're slowly building up our construction line here. I'm going to add that radius to the top as well. So once I do that, that means it's going to shorten up the box. So we got to intersect these lines here. There we go. So we're slowly constructing the lines. And this is also another good exercise to do, because your mind has to sort of rationalize all these shapes. It can't just draw these things without getting the experience of getting your brain to think about it. Wrapping your mind around what are these shapes doing in a particular corner, and trying to rationalize the shape in three-dimensional form in so many different views. That's really what the challenge is. Okay, so we're going to continue to create some form here. I'm going to bring this down. You can see where we have the radius, so it sort of joins the shape here. Now I'm going to draw a section so I can understand what I'm going to be doing, what this form is going to do. So the section is coming through here, and I'm going to describe the form as having a relief through here. This allows me to sort of understand what is it that I'm trying to do. You're going to see a lot of this sectioning happening. I'm always going to create sections. Sections are the best way to describe and for your brain to rationalize the form that you're trying to create. So we're going to join this here. And I'm going to create the section through here again. I'm going to keep it simple, so I'm going to make sure that this is sort of somewhat parallel. Alright, so we want to describe what's happening in the corner. This is going to come around. And there we have it. This is also going to come around through here. This is a radius around this corner. I'm going to take that section. Again, what I'm doing is describing what that section is doing all the way around. Fortunately, I didn't connect this top here very well, so okay, so there we have something that's created. It can be the shape could be a little bit better, but then I'm going to take one more section across, actually, so we know what is this doing from here. So this is going to come down, just a hard edge that just comes straight down. I'm going to thicken up my line a little bit. That's a little too thick. Alright, Now we're going to come back and hit the bottom. So the question is, what is this? What do we end up with? I have no idea. It's a shape it's a pretty basic shape, but you can probably look at it as the start of maybe a printer, fax machine, or something. You'd have to go in and start to form it out a little bit. This is too blocky. No one's going to want a fax machine that's shaped like this. It's too boxy. But whatever the reason, whatever. It's the exercise is for you to construct with basic shapes. You're not supposed to be doing anything else with this. You're just constructing basic shapes. You're trying to understand, how does this relate to this? Okay? So hopefully that helps. We will once again look at creating some more tutorials. Let me fix this line here. This comes in through there. And that should be, oops, that should be it. This would have to go away. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you here next time on Driven to Draw.